Welcome back to Andertons TV, everybody. I am with Oz today.
Hello.
Oz, you may or may not recognize, he's done one or two videos, but Oz is the man who is either standing behind the cameras or is doing editing.
Yes.
Or used to be Pat Butcher from EastEnders stunt double.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, today we're doing, actually no, let's set the scene. So Oz.
Yes.
You have your own band.
Yes.
It plays Doom and amongst other things.
Yes.
And you are driving to a gig, biggest gig you've ever done in your life.
Right.
Record company's going to be there, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Friends, family, fans, everything.
Yeah.
And literally...
It's like 3 people.
Yes. Just as you're driving past Andertons, you're involved in a bad car accident where an Andertons delivery van goes right up the back of your car.
Yes. Okay.
You open the boot to see all the gear that you were going to use.
All the gear that I didn't have to begin with. Okay,
basically
awesome.
Trashed in some terrible Doom disaster.
Okay.
But fortunately, you're opposite Andertons when this accident happens. So
Wonderful.
you've got to run in. You've got £1,000
Okay.
to replenish your gig supply. Now, before we go into that, Mr. Oz,
Yes.
for people who don't know you terribly well, what is Doom? Who are your influences?
Okay.
And what's the essence of that sound?
Okay. Let's start. Okay, with Doom. Okay, the ethos kind of behind it. There is this sense of this gear worship, this 70s, 60s kind of era. Black Sabbath specifically. I think there's a lot of Tony Iommi is God. All that kind of stuff. Geezer Butler. So basically, Laney, all these old vintage huge amps. A lot of Les Pauls, SGs. Laney, Matt amp. Sun-O, all cool stuff.
So offshoot of early metal.
Yes.
Okay.
Less shredding, more just big, huge riffs, slow tempos, some bits of jazz and blues and stuff like that. But it's just, monstrous music. I have a passion for it.
So what's the essence of the tone then? What have we got to try and find as we go on
This is the issue. I mean, I feel like most Doom bands have this usually catalogue of equipment, and this is the classic, walls of amps and so achieving this on a budget is going to be really, really difficult. But there's such a focus on distortion and fuzz to get that old Black Sabbath-y kind of sound. I feel like achieving this with a small little katana is going to be very, very difficult.
Right.
So, the amp is definitely going to be the hardest part, but I think it's doable. I think we can do it.
Presumably, as well, you're having to buy new gear from a shop is almost the most anti-Doom thing that you could realistically
pretty much,
do.
yeah.
So really, what we should do is reshoot this video with reverb open.
Yes.
And,
give them
and
a plug.
just charge them for the video.
Yeah.
But no, we're going to do it with Andertons.
Yes.
And we're going to dive on over to the Andertons website. It's very Christmassy, the Andertons website.
It is.
Right? So apologies if you're watching this in the middle of the year or something. Now, every guest that we've had on to choose their rig for under £1,000 normally divides it up into some money for a guitar, some money for an amp, and some money for pedals.
Yes.
And how do you kind of see that being apportioned?
I feel like the guitar is probably going to be the least focused.
Right.
The amp has to be... solid state is going to be an issue. We can try.
Okay.
We can try. I'm not against trying to find a solid state amp that can do that with the fuzz, but obviously we need a good fuzz pedal. That's got to be something.
Right. And we're talking wall of fuzz rather than
wall
tone
of fuzz.
bender,
Kind of, yes. Very much. So something that's basically just going to sustain forever. Feedback.
Well, which way around do you want to do it? Have you got it? Do you feel like the whole rig is built around the pedal? Oh, okay, amp first.
I think amp first. I mean, regardless of what pedal I get, it's going to be an issue if the amp cannot hack it.
All right.
I mean, speaker size is always going to be an issue. I don't know. I don't really know what the focus is going to be, but I feel like something that is affordable but has the balls to it to just kick out.
What is this amp that's been trashed in the back of your car? What was it?
Like maybe an old orange head, or I play Music Man's Music Man amps.
Really?
Amps, yeah. It's just
I thought all those Music Man amps were hybrid, kind of like solid state.
But it's the
preamp.
other way around. So solid state preamp,
valve power.
But the tube amp is 150 watt tube amp. So it's, even though it looks like a Fender Twin, I love it, but it has that tube balls.
Well, let's dive on in. So we're going to go first of all to the amp section of the Andertons website.
Let's do that.
And the normal thing that we have to do first. So you're going to choose you going for a combo before you put the filters on it.
Go on.
We just one of these four.
I mean, I feel like we're gonna have to go combo. I mean, if
heads and cabs going to be too expensive.
It's just too expensive. I mean, this is why combos exist.
Okay, so let's add those filters in then. So we're only showing in stock, yes, of course, because we need this for the gig, which is in about half an hour's time.
Yeah.
And he's choosing. Oh, he's going cheap.
No, I mean, I have to get some. There's pedals that are necessary. And the guitar can't be too awful. I mean, some choice of pickups would be nice.
Right.
I mean,
so
let's just start this.
What are we going? Low to high. Let's have a little look.
The Bugera is the thing that I'm hesitant.
Your exotic pronunciation of Bugera.
Bugera.
Yes, bonjour, monsieur. Can I show you my Bugera selection?
I whip my Bugera out.
So that was a French accent, by the way, in case you were not sure. Apologies to all my French family.
Okay, I mean,
is that it? So what was there? Oh, there's 2 pages of amps, though. So what's on the second page? Okay, we've got Mustang, we've got a bass breaker, we've got another Pro Junior. That's not really they're like angry little valve amps, aren't they? We need something with some headroom and a bigger speaker. Yeah,
ideally, but I mean, this is what we're working with. We're doing an affordable rig. I mean, this is kind of it. I mean, I could go something that's probably like 500-600, but then it's not leaving me much for. I mean, there are compromises I can make. I mean, Behringer do some. The SF300 is a fantastic fuzz pedal.
Yeah, isn't that like 20 quid?
Yeah, super cheap, but they're completely out of stock for a reason because they're amazing.
Have we not got one here that we can? I don't think we have.
I don't think we do. No.
You've got a Marshall MG50. Not doable. Not happy with that.
We can try.
I mean, it seems a bit kind of like cliche, but we've got the Bugera. The
Bugera is probably
we've got Katana 100. We haven't got, because you're going to have to dedicate some more money to this. Why don't we look at something like the orange Super Crush?
Okay.
And just sort of sacrifice some money on pedals and.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of thinking that's 100 watts, reasonably big cabinet size.
So Super Crush. I have seen some people doom these.
There it is. Although it's only saying the head's in stock. Does that mean the combo's out of stock? Let's have a little look. No, there it is. In stock. No problem at all. So that's £520.
Yeah.
Do you think you could put the rest of the rig together for £480?
The guitar might be an issue. I mean, with doom music and stoner rock and all this stuff, usually it is down-tuned a little bit, and there is a certain amount of value in a guitar that, you know, the build quality has to be somewhat enough that you can down-tune it without it constantly the neck going whack and the whole thing going out of tune. And
it's your rig. I mean, it's your rig, Mr. Oz. So
we can try it. I mean, we can try it. We can try it. If at least, I mean, if we do a rig where that is. We get the orange Super Crush, and we'll get maybe a cheaper guitar and a cheaper compromised fuzz pedal.
Okay.
That can be one thing, and then we can have maybe the Bugera.
And it's sort of an approved doom brand.
Yes,
as well,
100%.
Okay, so we'll do those two. So I can see what's happening here. So the rig is divulging between
two rigs.
One that's going to have £480 to buy you the guitar and the pedals.
Yep.
And the other's going to have about £650 or something, or £630 to buy the guitar and the pedals. Okay. So
I'm going to add that to the basket so I know how much we're working with for the orange rig. And we'll see.
So what are we going now? Guitars?
I feel like we should go guitars. And then review.
Is there you said sort of, so you're saying sort of double humbuckers would be the kind of the most typical guitar for a doom band?
Yeah. I mean, Les Pauls are usually not really my thing, but Les Pauls are usually the focus. Bands like Sleep and Electric Wizard, these modern doom bands that are just bigger than everything.
Yeah.
Matt Pike from Sleep, massive Les Paul user. And then Justin from Electric Wizard's SGs. I mean, it's all that classic rock worship. These people are all basically just playing Led Zeppelin and Sabbath.
Tell me about
half
Sun.
the speed.
Are they a kind of a doom band?
Sun are definitely a doom. This is where it gets tricky because I don't want to get too boring.
No,
but
I was bored right at the start.
I mean, look, they're called like drone metal or whatever. But yeah,
right.
There's Les Pauls too. Two Les Pauls. There's not even any drums or bass. It's just two guitars. That's all.
Seriously?
Yeah. people
that's cool.
people go and take mind-altering substances and watch. It's meant to be some life-changing
So
experience.
we think, okay, so Les Paul style guitars. Or
yeah. I mean, if I could find an SG, that would be
put
really,
a
really
filter
cool.
on it then as to like just the price.
Yes, I'll do that.
And it has to be in stock, absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, for this, how much do I really want to leave for a fuzz pedal? I mean, if I say like less than 150, is it like 300?
Well, I think you've got 2 brackets of fuzz, haven't you? There's loads of fuzz pedals you can buy for under 50 quid.
Yeah.
Whether there'll be anyone you like. If you want to go for, your sort of your boutique brandy, you want to go Walrus or Earthquaker or any of those, you're going to need 150, 200 pounds.
It's tricky. I mean,
wasn't that Catlin bread fuzz good the other day that we tried, or what was or I tell you, it was that Solid Gold Effects was. I don't know if that's the right
really
vibe
good.
for.
I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, I did. I played that Sun O.
Yes.
I think that's a very expensive pedal, but it gave me that 76 Solid Gold Effects pedal, massively same vibe from that octavey kind of wall of fuzz is very cool.
Have we got a filter on here of pickup type?
We can try, pickup configuration.
Here we go. So we go HH.
HH. We'll do P90, P90 first, because P90 is nice. Or HP90.
Double P90.
Yeah, we'll try that.
Wow. Okay, let's see what we've got. So how many guitars have we got? 61.
Yes.
Right. Okay, so Kramer, not the vibe. Okay, that's
absolutely
not Doom.
not. We're not metal at all.
Nothing pointy.
Nothing pointy.
Semi-acoustic?
Probably not.
Probably not.
All the Grotes.
See, there's a shout. You could go with one of those with your expensive orange amplifier.
Yeah.
Is there a colour thing? Would a Doom band go anything slightly sort of off-piste in terms of blues and purples, or would they just stay?
Probably be vintage sunbursts and stuff like that. I mean, I would. Yeah. But the Grotes are sticking out to me as something that's definitely a viable option.
Okay. Well, I mean, there you go. Why don't you just... your gig is literally in about 15 minutes.
Oh no, so. I'm going. Right, let's just add that to the basket for now.
So pedal. Now, what have we got? This is the one where you have got budget for pedals.
And I can still afford...
I vaguely remember, if you just do show all here, there is a fuzz section. There we are.
Okay, so I did have one particular pedal in mind.
God, there's 190 different fuzz pedals on the Andertons website. Yes. 190, just fuzz.
They all sound the same.
There's 7,000 overdrive pedals that all sound the same as well.
Yeah, they're all green.
Right, what have you done? You've done 100 to 200 pound fuzz pedals, have you?
I feel like this is going to be where...
73 of those as well, that's crazy.
Well, let's just see what we got.
There's no possible way that you can have tried all of these, so you're just basically looking for ones that either you're familiar
I'm
with
aware
or
of,
you like
I know
the
they do
colour
the
of.
job. There are the Frost Giant Massive, that I did the Frost Giant video, and that was cool. There's some good, cool pedals.
See, a lot of these, like the Fuzz Bender from Keeling stuff, that is old school tone bender fuzz, and it's the wrong era, really, isn't it?
So Hazumatas was the thing I thought of. I remember we did the Tales from the Pedal Cabinet video, which is up there, and we all liked this a lot, and I didn't shut up about it for the next month.
Well, let's get one of those.
I think we should get one of those. How much we got left?
Well, I think you'd need another fuzz. Get that 76 Solid Gold Effects one if you really like that. It's about the same, isn't it?
You think?
There it is.
There it is.
There she is, $199.
I think this is cool.
In my favourite 70s wallpaper
finish.
So what have we done now? Hang on, let me get my brain in gear. So we've got 200 on a pedal, 250 was the guitar, was it? 240, sorry, so that's 440. Yeah. Okay, we are basically out of dough really here, and you've got like 20 quid left, haven't you now, I think? What else were you thinking you might need?
What I was going to get, the only other thing I was kind of thinking of was maybe like a delay for noise purposes. So an analog delay.
Well, I'll let you. I think as with all these things, there's always a little bit of haggle room when someone's spending £1,000 on stuff, and we know you, so we can apply you some sort of staff discount. Okay. But I think as long as we're roughly in £1,000, so you want a delay pedal for under 50 quid, really, don't you?
Yeah, which I know. I think that Behringer do one, and this is not going to be a delay as you kind of most people would use it. I think it's probably more going to be
that's it.
Just mostly a noise pedal, just to put on, let it feed back, maybe play with the modulation. That's what I'd use it for anyway. Between songs,
fine.
Just.
Yep. That's only 20 quid.
20 quid. Come on.
Well, there you go. Right. Happy days. There is rig number uno.
Yes.
Of your. So that is how much?
976.
Oh wow! Do you know what? You look there. You go. You got 25 quid to spend on something to eat before you get to the gig and beer when you're there.
Yes.
So that's important. The other rig had a 369 amp, and then we haven't done guitars and pedals. So why don't we just we'll store this as one thing.
Okay.
Let's go looking at guitars more in that. What are you going to go £400 to £500 and then sacrifice the pedal?
Maybe £300 or £400. Maybe just trade off a little bit on the amp. I say trade off on the amp. I mean, I'm getting a valve amp for less money than yours. This is why it's a bit of a test. I mean, the Super Crush is a bit more expensive, but I don't know how it's going to react compared to the Bugera, which is what I wanted. So
we'll find out.
Yeah, so let's say a little bit of money off of the amp for the Bugera. That gives me 130 odd quid more or something like that.
So, it does indeed.
Okay. All right, I want to try to see if there's any P90s. I want to see.
What is this P90 obsession?
It's a little bit of personal preference. I feel like it's just single coils just work with Fuzz. Pete knows. It's just single coils. Just I don't know. It's just that fat thing. Humbucker's great, but I just with Fuzz, it's just a sound.
And you want to put your own unique, Ozdoom.
A little bit. I mean, there's got to be a little bit of preference in this. I mean,
absolutely.
Why not? Only 3 guitars with P90s. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is cool. Okay. And also, green.
Wow, a green SG.
Green SG.
I've never even seen a green SG before.
Ooh, that's
groovy.
That is pretty cool, and it's green. Obviously, all stoner, just rock and doom. Everything's got to be a little bit like green. Green's a desired color. All the green amps. The green amps.
Yeah, matte amp stuff. Absolutely.
Really cool.
I'm with you.
Yes. Okay. Let's add that.
That's not as. So actually, So with the amplifier now, you've spent just over £700.
Yes.
So you absolutely could have your Fuzz de jour
absolutely
as well as.
Let's just add the Bugera in. See how much we're dealing with.
There's not a bigger Bugera that.
Bugera.
Oh yes, Bugera. My favourite Disney film.
Yes.
Is there a bigger Bugera that you could afford?
Ooh, is there? I don't think there's.
I don't know. I mean, is there like a 50-watt Bugera? Bugera. No, there's a 5-watt one.
55? Oh.
See, look what I've done to you.
It's possible.
I bet it's out of stock. We can do that. We'll just have to bring it down this afternoon. What do you want to do then? I mean,
let's just see how much money do I give me left. 838. Is that enough for the Zimitas?
It's just enough for the Hezbollah. What was it called? The other pedal? The other one. His and hers.
What? His and hers?
What's the other fuzz called?
His Imitas.
His and hers Mitas. Yes, absolutely. Well, I will let you off that one if that's
okay. Oh my God, it's not wanting to. There we are. Okay. His Imitas.
Oh yes. This is
Unculitas.
Is where spell check does not like Hizumitas.
That's too much.
No, you're there. You're like £7 quid between friends. Do you want that cheap delay pedal as well? I'll let you off.
Are you sure?
Yeah. I kind of feel like
I do work.
Otherwise, you're going to be miles under budget. Yeah. Okay. Look, I'm going to let you off here because we're only 30 quid above, and again, I feel sorry for you. It's a bad accident. You probably got whiplash and everything. So let's go with these are our 2 rigs then, right? So we have got an orange Super Crush, a Grote. Les Paul lookalikey thing.
Yes.
It's not actually a Les Paul, but you know what I mean.
L1.
He says avoiding
L1.
any legal action.
Yes.
76. 70. So you've got an expensive fuzz. You know what you haven't done? You haven't done a cheap fuzz just to see.
Just to see. Okay.
Yeah.
Should
In fact,
maybe
I should be stricter with my allowance on the Deer on. Maybe we should force you into a fuzz that that actually brings your Deer rig in on budget.
Okay.
I can't say Bugera.
Bugera.
So you've got under £100 now to spend on a fuzz to just bring it in on budget.
Right.
Oh come on.
Yeah.
It's even called a Doom
pedal.
pedal.
I know.
Surely.
It's a Doomstick.
Doomstick.
Oh, it's good, man.
Surely.
It is good. It's a good pedal. It's just. I mean, this is where the personal. I mean, I'm just not.
Fine if you're not a fan.
There's a proper rat.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
Proper rat.
I can't believe you're not going to put the Doomstick in there just because. It's just me being basically.
Should I get it? Should we just try it? Should we try it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's try it. Okay. I think I got to get Mickey as well.
Fine. Get it all.
Mickey's got
get it all. It's going to be a good video.
Okay,
and,
we'll try. Be a loud video.
Anyway, so we'll go through exactly what we've got when we're back in the studio after 3, 2, 1. We are back in the room with a mix and match set of Doom rigs here. And let's tell you about, let's sort of, the amplifiers are an Orange Super Crush 100, a Bugera 55 Infinium,
yes,
he says, a vintage V55 Infinium. And then the same amp in a 22 watt version, smaller.
Which is the one we looked at online.
That's right. So we kind of worked out, actually, that Oz could kind of have any of these rigs that he wanted with one of these two amplifiers. So the two slightly dearer amplifiers. And then Oz said, I've got this Sire guitar downstairs, which I really, really like as well. So Oz has kind of actually been using this one himself.
For videos.
And I'm like, well, why don't we put that one in the selection then? That'll be the most expensive guitar. And the only way we can afford that is to have the cheaper Bugera, and then it has to be the cheapest fuzz. I think maybe the Doomstick was the dearest fuzz, or maybe it had to be the Tone City did it.
Yeah, so the Tone City's about, Mickey's like 50, Doomstick's like 90. And
oh, okay.
The other two are a bit more expensive.
So then we're going to try and mix and match. So I guess the first thing, we'll stay with this kind of SG, which you rather liked.
Very cool.
And we'll see if we can kind of go through and choose an amplifier. If you end up going, the Bugera 22 is fine, it does give you the option of bringing the Sire into play.
But then also takes away my options of fuzz. Okay.
It does indeed, yeah. And on the floor here, we've got 4 fuzzes. So the two kind of middle ones, the 76 fuzz and the, go on, you pronounce that, Hizumitas. They're the most expensive ones.
Yeah.
The Doomstick was just under £100, and then the Metal Mickey was
like 50
about
quid.
40 quid. Was it 50 quid?
Yeah.
Okay, and then this crazy vintage delay pedal for 20 quid or something mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's get a sound. So the orange is 100 watt 1x12 completely solid state, and then the two Bugeras are valve, same basic preamp circuit, but we have the bigger cabinet with a slightly different power amp, so it's a little bit louder, bassier maybe sounding, and then the 22 same size speaker but in a smaller cabinet and with a different kind of power section.
They sound great.
A different kind of sound.
They sound great.
Tell us how you've set them up as well before you put fuzz pedals on top.
I mean, I've just done it how I've done it. When I run fuzz pedals, I like to absolutely crank the volume and crank the amount of fuzz, and then the tone is for me to play with. But to do that without blowing up my amp, I kind of just put a bit of gain in, a little bit of gain to kind of pad the volume. So when I do hit it in, it's a boost in volume, but it's not so much that it's like a clean to disgusting fuzz out of nowhere. This way I can turn the fuzz off and go to some nice little crunchy rhythm sections, but then hit the fuzz in and get a huge boost in volume.
So all the amps are on their dirty channels with very mild gain.
Mild gain. And
we're not going to use channel switching on the amps or anything. We're just going to stay as pedal platforms.
Yeah, we're basically going to have two. We're basically going to have two sounds. Like the fuzz is off and it's a kind of AC/DC kind of sounding tone, and then fuzz is on for destruction of.
Okay.
So when we got these guitars, obviously the first thing I wanted to do was downtune them, which is a staple hold of all Doom, and there's very, very, very few bands who play in anything higher than like D standard. So I dropped this to D standard and then drop C. So bit bag is a bit too much bag.
We probably should have restrung these.
Yeah, maybe 11s
we
or
haven't got
12s.
time. The gig is literally Oz. You won't even have time for sound check at this rate.
Okay. Yes.
So yeah, normal set of 9-42s on these guitars. Maybe the Epiphone has 10s, but
I'm not sure.
they're really not heavy enough. So you might hear a little bit of like that whoa. But we could get rid of that with some slightly heavier strings. But let's have
all
a
right.
listen.
So there's a bit of rattling, but here we go. Nothing awful. I mean, it's a good.
Nothing awful.
It's so fun. I mean, look.
Yes, I know what you mean.
What we're going for is something destructive, and it's not destructive enough yet. Not
Right.
destructive enough. But it works for the, this the. It's like fine.
Yeah, that sounds more Peter Green than AC/DC to me.
Yeah,
Just
all the
saying.
reverb. Yeah, we got the classic orange reverb that you don't have no control over how long it is. So, but yeah, okay. Should we move on to the Bugeras?
I suppose so.
Or should we try it with the something?
It's your rig, man. How would you go through them clean? Well, like I was without pedals first, and then go back through them with pedals.
We'll try that. Okay, so I mean the basic just. All right, we'll go to the Bugera 22. That sounds great.
Sounds great.
That sounds really cool already. Yeah. Okay, and we'll do the 55. immediately a bit less gain. It's a bit less gain. I mean, we could compensate a little bit, but I think just the size of the cab has a bit of something to it.
Literally, without stopping, just like start playing your sort of your big power chords and just step through them so that we can just kind of hear.
Should we put the fuzz on? I feel like I feel like we shouldn't be judging these amps on their clean sound. I mean, 90% of the time it's going to be absolutely cranked to hell. So let's just put the. I'm going to use the Hazumatas first.
Okay.
That's the one I know the most out of these. We'll just go through it. We'll start on the orange and we'll just move across.
Fine by me.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, it's your sound.
Okay, I really like the sound. I might because it's so hard to tell because it's just right behind me.
Yeah.
But the smaller Bugera sounds so gnarly. I think that's really
Half
cool.
of me thinks, in your band, would you typically have like a bass player tracking those chords with you?
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, I think I would go with the smaller Bugera.
Yeah.
Because it's sort of the bigger Bugera feels. You're sacrificing some clarity in the mid-range for this big bass end.
Yeah.
I bet the bigger Bugera really comes into its own as a much cleaner sounding amplifier,
100%.
but with gain. And plus the fact if you go the smaller Bugera, it's the cheapest of the three, which gives you
more stuff,
options. Can I just and I noticed as well, everything was on the rhythm pickup. Is that a Doom kind of thing?
Yeah, most of the time. I feel like I mean, it just depends what kind of thing you want. I mean, it's just the difference between a neck and a bridge pickup. I mean,
Keep that on and just go through the three amps. I like cycling through the amps just to kind of hear. But now we're on the treble pickup, maybe.
Okay, let's do that then.
It's your rig, Mr. Oz.
Oh man!
Do you want to try it with a different guitar and see if something else kind of leaps out at you?
Yeah, let's try. Okay, let's try.
All right, no problem. From the 22 watt Bugera to the orange and just back and forth.
Yeah,
leave out the 55 watter in the middle. Well,
oh man.
I mean, apart from a sort of a superficial understanding of a bit of Black Sabbath, I really don't feel I'm qualified to comment here.
God, they're both good. I think initially I was probably more against that orange. I was thinking, oh, it's gonna be one between one of the Bugeras, but it's sounding good as well now.
I mean, I must admit that what does surprise me here, and again, I guess this is a sort of sense of just how good value the Bugera stuff is it makes no sense to me whatsoever that the dearest one of the 3 amps we've got is the orange one, which is the completely solid state one. Normally that would be completely the other way around.
Yep.
But I'm kind of feeling like if the smaller Bugera gives you some leeway to go for either a better guitar or some better pedals, that's the way to go, because it's kind of sounding good.
Yeah. No, I think I still do prefer the Bugera. I don't know, Bugera. It's just, I mean, it might be just it's giving me a little bit more fizz on the top.
Well, okay. Well, let's try that Sire guitar. Now, there's the one other big difference on this Sire guitar, as well as it being more expensive, because this is one that Oz has been messing around himself. This has been strung with more appropriate
thicky
strings for the drop tuning, so it might give it like a double advantage. But let's have a little listen to that. It's so Steve Jones, Sex Pistols. That was sounding great, but I'm afraid to say that that particular amp is disqualified from this setup. There's only one amp you can afford, Mr. Oz. You know what? Anyway, it's a big difference having the right strings on a guitar for this tuning, isn't it? Massive difference. Okay, come on, let's hear this one then.
Okay, right. Well, luckily it's my favourite amp anyway, so we'll go with this. It's nice, isn't it? It's a bit nice.
Can we plug your band halfway through this video as well, Oz? What's it called?
Oh, God. My band's called Oz and the Kryds. Kryds.
Okay, we'll put that on screen now. You can go and follow them if you want to.
It's like punk with bits of this in it. But yeah,
right. This is easy,
awesome.
Okay, because if this sound doesn't sound right with the Mickey, and I apologize, I've been calling it the Metal Mickey the whole way through, but of course it's a Mickey Mouse reference, aka Rat. So let's see. Are you in the ballpark with that, or do you need
I've
the
just
Deer of Fuzz?
So I mean, we see. I mean, the Rat. I mean, even so, my dream pedal for this would be that Earthquaker Sun Life pedal. Which is just the holy grail of like just gnarly distortions, and it's a Rat. It's a Rat, esque pedal. So this can only be so far off. So let's hope that it works. Really less gain than Hazumatas. My opinion.
Do you know where we found that Rat?
Go on.
In the kitchen.
hate to say it, this might sound really preposterous. I don't think there's enough gain.
Not enough. Well, you got more gain on the amp. Don't forget.
Yeah, but all it's going to do is turn down the volume. If I start piling gain from the preamp, it will just get quieter. It would start sounding worse. I mean, if I put this on and I'll start turning the gain up, and you'll see what I mean.
Honestly, this is officially why the electric guitar is the best instrument in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, what else can you do this stuff on?
It feels great. It just feels good.
All right,
Power.
so well, look, it's your rig, Mr. Oz, and by the way, you've already missed the first set.
Yeah.
I
need to speed up. Okay.
What is the... You've got to make a decision here. If you don't like the Mickey, you can't have that guitar.
I've got to compare. I've just got to. I want to hear the 76.
Okay.
If the 76 does it, I mean, I love the Hazumatas, and the Hazumatas in my brain,
Yeah.
from what I've just experienced, the Hazumatas definitely better than the Mickey for what I would like it to do. Mickey still is not that bad. I mean, that was not a bad sound by any means.
No, I agree.
That's fine.
I mean, Doomstick as well is sort of.
We still haven't touched the Doomstick. We still haven't touched that. But I think if I'll unplug the Sire, plug the SG in. We still haven't played the SG yet.
We did
play the SG. We did play the SG.
We did play
I'm
the
losing my
SG,
mind.
yes.
I apologise. Okay, we'll plug the SG in. We'll try the 76 and the Doomstick and just do it. If I feel like that's the
So what we can discount now,
yes,
is because you don't like
two.
the dearer 2 amplifiers,
Yeah.
you don't have to buy the cheapest guitar.
Nope.
So you can now go back to using the Epiphone
Yep.
with your P90. That's another observation from you. What do you hear? P90 versus humbucker? Better, worse, different?
It's just
For you?
it's preferential, but
Okay.
I just love the sound of. I mean, in the same way it works for blues, it works for Doom. I mean, P90s.
Of course, what there is
Fuzz.
also now is the version of this Sire with P90s on it.
Exactly.
I mean, this could go on.
Yeah.
You'll miss the entire gig. But
100%,
yes,
yeah.
you could even...
I would have totally
you could
got on
looked
that.
at
But
yeah.
this was just sitting downstairs and it was in
Yeah.
A standard, so just do it.
I think lesson learned from there is 100% drop tuning, heavier strings.
Heavier strings.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so back to the Epiphone.
Okay. Hello, I'm back. Epiphone SG. This thing's wicked.
So
This is
staying
really
with
cool.
the smaller Big Now we're just narrowing down the
Fuzz
pedals.
pedals.
Okay,
And if the
let's
sound,
do it.
if the sound we get from the fuzz pedals is just that much better than the sound we got from the Sire and the Mickey, then I'm afraid the Mickey and the Sire
Gosh.
are out. So we will see. We'll try the Doomstick first. It's rammed to full. I'm curious how loud this is going to go, so keep an eye on the
We'll be
decibel
all right.
meter.
It's not as fuzzy as I
Doesn't
thought
even
it'd be.
feed back. Doesn't even feed back.
Doesn't even feed back.
That should be
Wow,
illegal. I mean,
Not as chaotic. Literally, without... I mean, assuming they're all ballpark settings-wise where you'd want them.
yeah, I haven't tried this yet. But
Just keep playing and stomp through them.
Yeah, okay. That's mad.
Isn't it? You got the
That's
octave
mad.
switch on though, haven't you?
Yeah.
So turn that off and see if it's more traditional. I still think the Hizumitas has got more gain in it, but
Yeah.
as a sound, I think the 76 is more unusual.
The cool thing about the 76, I'm watching it's like it was like I heard like major thirds in it. And stuff like that. It was like it's adding so many harmonics to it.
Yeah, yeah. That's great, that pedal.
It's almost like you hear full chords. Oh my god!
Oh
If
my
I could have them both, that'd be mad. Because
both the Hizumitas and the 76?
Yeah, if
Wow.
there was a way to do that, I
You
would
wouldn't
totally
stack
do that.
them though, right? You just like one or the other.
One or the other.
Yeah.
But they'd be like just having the Hizumitas for the thick, gnarly doom, and then the 76 for I want to kill you with a machete kind of sound.
You could do that. You could have both those and the small Bagheera as
God.
long as you went with the cheapest guitar.
Fair.
Just throwing it out there as an option.
It would be
I don't think
possible.
you should, but I'm saying you could. I think you should go with the green SG or the Sire. I'll be honest with you.
Just for the sake of science.
It didn't like that, did it?
No,
it did not
not
like
at all.
that. Double fuzz.
Okay. There we are.
Well, so can you
think-
just, now you've got your sounds, can you just stomp through the 4 fuzzes, but
Yeah.
whilst playing the same kind of riffs and no stopping, just like we'll go to the end and go, that's
Okay.
the one. That's really close.
Yeah.
So, I think my overall favourite actually probably is the Hizumitas.
Yeah, I think you're right.
My worry, and crikey, I don't know anything about doom music, so is that the 76 has got almost too much character to it. It's like, I think it would get a bit tiring if you had to do the whole gig with that. It's almost like, it's fun for, I kind of think it's fun for it's
a great character pedal. I mean, I feel like for a solo or
yes, for your standard rhythm tone, for me, I feel it's almost. But then, equally, the difference between the Mickey and the Hizumitas is like 5%, maybe even less than that.
That 5% is something, though, isn't it?
I get it, but again, I'm just saying, you've now got, this is serious. So you've got this guitar with the Hizumitas, or the Sire with the Mickey. Which way?
I'm liking the guitar. The Sire it's a lovely guitar and it's set up how I like it. But this is doing the job.
It's because it's green, isn't it?
It's green as
well. It goes
well.
with your trousers.
Yes.
I tell you, this is honestly, I've decided now that we talk about doctors and dentists buying PRSs and being the snobby guitar players.
Yes.
Like that. But I actually think that the Doom guitar players are way more snobby than.
They're quite snobby. Yeah, Tories.
That's what they are. They're Tories of the music.
No, do you know what? I love that. You're so into the tone. I love watching you, even though you know you're on camera as a video, but you lose yourself in the whole kind of riffs. And
I do it on my own. Yeah, I could be on my own and I'm still going.
It's very cool.
I'm making the gurning face all the time.
Well, look, in that case then, look, so
I'm enjoying the guitar.
Okay, so guitar 350.
I'm enjoying the guitar.
Amp 370 or something like that. So we're
Yeah.
just over 700 quid.
I think we're going
we
to
bang
Zimitas.
that in. We're probably at around about just under 900. So you got room, man. You definitely got the delay pedal. I want to hear what you do with the delay, doing the whole. You know, because you're not just going to turn it on for some echo effect.
No,
are you? You're
definitely
going
not.
in. Come on, Oz.
Okay.
It's like being at an Oz and the Crids gig.
Oh God.
Do you know Sweet Home Alabama?
And here's Wonderwall.
Oh my God, I love it!
Awesome.
Yeah.
I massively love it.
Yeah. 20 quid.
It's like being at Woodstock.
20 quid. I love these things, man. Analog delays are just fun to play around with. So it's gonna...
for people who, again, well, don't think we should assume anything in these videos.
Yes.
I don't really know who would you say started that whole.
Oh man, I feel like Hawkwind and bands like
Yes.
that. Probably,
So you're talking about you know, this idea of on the fly adjusting. So the two knobs that are making those crazy effects on a delay pedal is the physical
yeah.
time lag of the delay. So if you adjust that in real time, you get these crazy warped kind of sounds. And then it's the amount of repeats that you have, and the more you turn it up, the more it goes into this crazy infinite feedback.
It's basically a synthesizer. It turns into
yeah, and it's like, I mean, for 20 quid, that's
It's
worth
pretty cool.
just having for like a 5-second intro to a song, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, this is what I'd use it for in between songs, so just like, and I can play with it. But half the time, it wouldn't even be my pedal board. It would be on top of my amp, so I can turn around and do that, or it would be taped to the mic stand, or just
Tape it
something.
to the guitar.
Tape it to the guitar. Bang. It's the
Throw it.
switch.
That's mental.
It's pretty cool. But it'd be cool to kind of, if I can find a happy medium where it's just, it will eventually die, but last for a while. There we go.
Sauce.
Cool.
Honestly, Oz, there's some of the coolest guitar tones I think we've had. So there you are, ladies and gentlemen. That is, I mean, Oz is literally, he's missed the gig, been fired from the band, but at least he's got his new rig for £1,000.
Yes.
In fact, well under £1,000 as well.
Yes,
So there we go.
There we go.
Epiphone, the little Bugera 22 Infinium, an Earthquaker Hizumitas, and a Behringer. Which one is it?
VD 400 vintage. delay.
VD. There you go. Stick with the pedals, not the other thing.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for the
That's
gear.
Oz. I've been the captain, and we'll see you next time.